Fantastic. Well, we'll be back right after a break of quarter time, and we'll see you shortly.
Our daily sponsor, C&S Landscaping and Earth Moving, is ready to help you with all your home landscaping needs in Adelaide. They can remove excess soil, pull dig-outs, remove stumps, prep for new driveways and carry out any demolition work. They are locally based in Lonsdale. Give them a call anytime for a non-obligation quote.
Welcome back. It is quarter time, nearly finished. So the start of the second quarter here at the Australian Men's Mixed Netball Championships. Victoria versus Queensland, Open Men's round 7. Currently 12 goals all. What a great start that was.
Yeah, it was virtually no team changes. I think the only positional change was Nalmo coming on and Punch going back to keeper there, but Queensland line still unchanged at this stage.
And we see Jake Hedricks back on running in the goal defence. That might be a bit of a deliberate, they're running the defenders through, and that sort of pattern keeps some intensity there as well. Beautiful open by Cameron Allen.
Yeah, just drew, it's Brody just doing the baseline drive, just drawing one off and then boom, pop open.
And despite his size, he can slot through these tiny gaps.
Brody's size you're talking?
I was talking about Cameron Allen. I mean, Brody is so deceptively tall in himself, but they can get through absolutely nowhere. It's incredible to see.
I know Guy Keane out there today, he's going to have his hands full, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
17-year-old kid running around after him all day.
Yeah, and what a product for Queensland to be able to say a 17-year-old up in
the open division, exactly right. Noonan with the centre pass. Doesn't have to go back there, but working it to the transverse line's edge.
And just a little bit of contact, maybe obstruction going on there. Working it back through the top of the circle, which this is very traditional Victorian style, is that beautiful pocket top triangle.
And the Brody shuffle.
And isn't he absolutely renowned for that? We haven't seen a lot of it this tournament, but when he does bring it out, despite the fact that there's often more physical defenders who could maybe push him out of the way a little bit, he always manages to get it where he exactly wants it. Oh, amazing off the circle feed.
Yes. Well, third second option will, okay, let's just go long.
If in doubt.
If in doubt.
So we're sitting here at 14 goals, 15. Back on that centre pass, as we said earlier. Just Waiting for it to open. Oh, just snuck a foot outside. I think maybe came from out of court on it. But he found so much space on that baseline so easily without any of the defenders having a clue he was there.
Nice defensive mid-court pressure here from Victoria, clogging up the court, making the court as small as possible.
Yeah, you could see it was quite a conscious setup there, the press, which Victoria, they've done it for more than a decade in various iterations of press, and tell you what, they get damn good at it.
Oh, they do. There's a lovely transfer of play across court, but to make the defence react, and it opened up for us on the other side.
Exactly right. Now, Queensland are pushing ahead by a couple here.
Yeah, mini break again with a centre pass. So good contest there. Probably could have left it go.
Strong contest, and it has been an interesting contest between those two as well. Because Eli's not going to give you an inch around the circle, so you're going to have to keep working. And just as we say that,
just a bit of miscommunication.
He maybe helped guide the centre where he wanted him to be, and it opened up beautifully.
And Glenn almost across the transverse line.
Yeah. There wasn't enough on that ball.
And a bit too much loop. They were just waiting for it.
Was the intent of where it was is where the space was. Jake Noonan wasn't able to run onto it because it spent too much time in the air. Yeah, just opening up, doing something slightly different there. Cameron Allen coming out of the circle. Terrific spin on an absolute dime.
And a lovely shot over fairly good contested ball there.
Absolutely. Now, again, Queensland using that right side of the court that I spoke about earlier. It seems to be their natural to work those short balls through there. We'll see as this quarter goes on if they do change it up again as well.
Nice give and go there. Noonan with quick hands.
He was well timed.
He was half a step behind and still got there.
That was very well done. And to do it cleanly as well is often difficult.
We got a bib down.
Mate, with all the bodies in the circle, it's surprising we don't actually see more bibs coming down through there. Eli Harrison somehow ended up on the ground. Not sure through his own fault or whether with a bit of assistance or maybe a little bit of both.
I think Darren might have been a bit of jostling from both.
Now, Darren Gillespie can sink that from there.
He can.
So I'm unsure why he's hesitating.
And you've got 6'10" for a rebound if it happens to just miss. And
it's not like Lockie can't jump either. He can get up there for the rebounds. He spent a lot of time in keeper as well through mixed and in open men.
Correct.
So we know he can get up there.
And his body position is fairly good.
Yeah. That's something he's clearly worked on, in getting that foot around, constantly trying to jostle for his best position as well. As we just get a little bit of a court wipe from that little bit of a battle earlier. Worth the contest, Mero.
Worth the contest, but the missed shot unfortunately did not fall.
And a little bit of tap out from Cameron Allen there was just allowed it to stay in the contest for a little bit. Brody cleaned up.
Yeah. What I think Queensland would be happy there was 3 attempts.
Yeah.
And they did give themselves an opportunity there to pull in a rebound, which is possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy that that many attempts. Probably slightly disappointed they didn't capitalise on one of them.
Probably a disappointment on the stat sheet that we didn't bring down the
because there was maybe an opportunity to push it out another goal.
Nash comes across.
That's that youth fearlessness, isn't it? Don't know any better, so just has a crack. And you're up against one of the absolute greats of the game in Guy Keane, who's been a stalwart of Victorian and Australian sides.
Allen gets called for the push-off.
Yeah, he's been called for that a couple of times. And sometimes I wonder whether it's the umpire doesn't understand his body movements versus him actually pushing off. Yeah. Because he's not like one of your other traditional tall goalers who may armbar at times.
Yeah, true.
Because his body movement's just so different.
Darren Gillespie, lovely little front cut round to the baseline there. Holds it for his good solid 3 seconds, as we know Darren will do, and gets the contact late.
And speaking of great contest there, That's good body on body. That was a great example of stronger body won that contest.
And look, Jordan is a slight frame. There's no doubt about that.
You can barely see him side on.
But it was different to the last contest that they had down there as well, whereas Eli was probably a bit more coming through a bit later.
Yeah, that one was just a great go for the ball contest. Oh, and I've just noticed Dan King's come on into goalkeeper. And by looks at it, they're looking at bringing on Al Punchin into goal defence.
All right, we've had a change here. Mark Nichols into wing defence. So Nash is getting a little break there.
He's a bit of a quiet achiever, Mark Nichols, isn't he?
Yeah,
he just seems to go about it, and done that for a few years. He just goes about the game. You don't notice him a lot, good or bad, but he grinds out a player.
Exactly right. Also through the reserves ranks as well. Came through mixed resis a few years ago.
Yeah.
Got his opportunity and he's just a dependable sort of player. He's just there.
And they're doing well now, clogging up space, forcing Eli Harrison to reset. But great give and go.
I see Al Punchin's come back on his goal defence, so that defensive change was to bring Al back on into
and allow him to have a bit of a fly through the court, I think. Him on the run, from their attacking point of view, he glides through the middle of the court. And having the tall Dan King on it, an opportunity to provide a bit more pressure of height through that circle. Maybe reduce the option of the ball going over and relying on the timing of the jump.
Lovely move by Darren Gillespie. Again, pulls the contact, which is fine, passes off.
And just waited to the right opportunity to give that offload. One of the things I've started noticing that had a couple of times the Victorians aren't bringing their feet completely with them, or the time in the pass just slightly early. But as soon as they clean up that by even the slightest moment, they're going to be absolutely killing it through there. Unfortunate contact there for Jake Noonan. Not sure there was a lot in that. I think it was almost more him tripping over the ball.
Yeah, and maybe more of a possession call too. I think Jordan had his hands on that. But what led to that was that errant pass.
Yeah, correct.
Came to there.
Good. A little bit unfortunate on the obstruction, Al Punchin. He seemed to be holding a good distance for a while. She might be saying he crept in a little bit towards the end there.
So Lockie holding a big solid screen there. And then holding space to hopefully not allow them to come in and take defensive pressure, which they did.
Yeah, and Darren Gillespie hesitating on his shot slightly on that one, which normally he doesn't do. Although his action isn't a completely flowing action, the staticness of it normally does work. Keeping pressure on Queensland so well through the defensive third.
And Guy with an uncharacteristic drop over the sideline there.
And I think because it was given to him a bit too low as well. Yeah. If you're trying to catch around your knees, it's a bit difficult sometimes.
Look, we all know how good Guy Keane is. I think it might be a concerted effort. Let's roll someone through him every time, change him over. Really
grind him down.
Exactly right. Hey, he's now, 5 minutes into the 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. He hasn't come off for a break yet. We've rolled 2 players through him already.
Yeah.
And, fresh legs.
And I think you wear a player down sometimes. It can have the reverse effect where that person can just be on top of you. You don't get a chance to find your feet on as a wing defence. But it seems to be having quite a good effect there.
And we've got
as the other attackers, they're not sure where to put the ball to him at the moment.
Yeah, and 2 slightly different wing defence options as well. I think Nash is he'll really, really hunt that ball down. Mark might let that go and then use his 6'2", 6'3" height wingspan. We've made a change, Queensland. Nash gone to centre. His combination with Jordan through the younger divisions will be very handy in this attack space right now.
I'm excited for Queensland from a spectator point of view to see where these two are going to go in the open side for Queensland over these next couple of years. They're doing so well already, and they're so young. It's a very exciting thing for Queensland.
Errant pass there from Darren. Probably just needs to shoot it.
Yeah, I think he just needs to back his shot.
Yep.
Everyone else has absolute faith in him. And Cameron Allen doing a nice little step-back jump
nice
out.
Little two-step.
Almost the classic basketball fadeaway.
See Queensland dropped in on that centre pass into nearly a top of the circle zone from Glenn Ormisher. Nice, strong take. Nice goal. A little bit of a clap there from Matthew too.
Look, I've coached some of these boys, and I'm quite good friends with a couple of them as well over the years. So it's hard sometimes not to give a little bias clap. Try not to do it in voice. I think sometimes the body doesn't. But yeah, I've been so thrilled for Cameron Allen, his first Open men's tournament, how well he's been shooting.
That's good.
From friendship and from a presidential and former coach point of view of Victoria, it's so great to see players like that coming through. Yeah. It's an exciting thing for our game.
Queensland really hasn't just sort of got their momentum on this, and as I say, our momentum through the attacking transverse at the moment with the combination change with Nash going to centre. It'll work.
Oh, and just a bit too sideline there. That's a tough ball to take. And sometimes that's where you can get the area, force them sideline, sideline, sideline. Yeah. Victoria, when they've got their timing right, it's like that.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's opening beautifully. There's just a couple of timing miscommunications going on, or maybe the eye contact has just been lost for a moment there.
Queensland struggling to get the centre pass options right just in this last couple of minutes.
But haven't been afraid to go back and be patient is the word we've used for Queensland. No, Al punching on the fly.
Gets a touch, but unfortunately he's going to get a contact call against him there.
And the umpire probably had a better angle of that contest than we did. From here, it just looked like he was hitting the ball. But, I mean, my eyesight's not what it used to be. And we are a long way here. We're not quite what you're seeing on the camera.
Oh, no, we've still got a bit of a... Oh. Umpire was going to do some work there, but...
I think the umpire was just saying, here is where I want you to clean up now. Can you please do it just here?
The guy's got a bit of flexibility there still.
I think he needs to do these mid-game stretches just to be able to keep going. So he'll take this opportunity.
2-on-1 in the circle here. Let's see if Queensland can capitalise.
And that's a Darren Gillespie that people who've been following netball for a few years do know quite well. Because unfazed, that's the one I'd like to see. Brody Roberts punching through.
Oh, that's a lovely drive by Brody.
And again, this top of the circle is what is working. And a couple of bodies just touching each other. Mero not quite sure how he ended up on the ground. And just giving him a little bit of a hug to let him know he's there.
So 24-22 still to Queensland. Just a mini break still, that's all it is this quarter. It's only been the one turnover technically.
And with just over a minute to go, can Victoria peg it back to even?
It'd be very interesting. I know they work hard on their last minutes of the quarters. What are we doing here? It's a great front ball. Great front ball.
And that's what Dan King does, a new player to the open side. He's played in the open reserves in the past. And
yes,
he's known for his
he was in your team in 2019.
We were teammates and won the reserves championship together. Great contest and recovery there.
Unlucky. Might have got a call his way there, Mark Vickers, but let's play on.
And the great thing was they did just get on with it. Oh, superb ball. Oh, unlucky. Almost drawn in as well. I would have loved if he was able to pull that in. Right. He's held time, 35 seconds to go.
35 seconds to go here. I think they'll be working this down probably with about 10 seconds to go because I think it might be Victoria's centre pass next.
Yeah, I can't recall. I've been so engaged. I've forgotten the centre pass, which just counting, let's be honest. Should be able to do that. But this patience is what gets the turnover. You want to... Now, plenty of time. People think that 10 seconds to go is plenty of time.
Yeah, it's
You got 3 passes.
3 passes.
4 passes in that time. And the speed these guys move the ball,
Yep.
you don't need to throw it straight in the circle. Just a little bit of confusion for a moment of...
I think time is still being called. That's why we're waiting.
Yeah.
Now it's on the whistle. Let's go.
I think the umpires just had a moment where they went, oh, yes, who's calling the time? And that should be called as a deliberate obstruction and delay. Yeah.
And does get the caution advanced.
So, that if you're wondering why it's not going past the centre circle, the controlling umpire and the controls 1 half. Oh, what a pick-up, Brody Roberts, and a tap down. They only control 1 half, and they can only bring it forward to the end of that half. The other umpire can choose to bring it forward further, but not necessary. Victoria, what a pass, what a goal.
Unfortunate contact down there with the bodies flying around, but Victoria would be very happy with that last little minute and a half passage there. That could have got out to it might have been 25, 23 goal with the centre pass if it was next theirs. And then, you're on the back foot leading into the third quarter.
And speaking of the third quarter, that's coming up in a few minutes' time. 23-24, Queensland's way. We'll see you after the break.
Thanking our weekly sponsor, Harrison's Kitchens. Looking for a new kitchen, a fresco kitchen, or a custom joinery item? Harrison's Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 20 years this year. 20 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Kitchens and joinery. All budgets, many material options with many special rates for the South Australian netball community. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram, or search up www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.
Welcome back to Netball South Australia's stadium for the Australian Men's and Mixed Netball Championships. This is the open men's game, Queensland versus Victoria. We're just coming out of the halftime break with Queensland 1 goal in front at 24-23. It will be interesting to see what these sides bring for this next half. We've had a change for Victoria in centre. Jake Noonan has come off and Riley Richardson has come on into centre. And
I can see one change for Queensland here as well. Colby Sturgis into the goalkeeper position. Miro Clough getting a well-earned rest after that
Oh, what a battle he was having as well. Yeah.
Yes.
And the fact that Mero wasn't able to have a lot of attempts at fly the ball says how well that contest was going, because Cameron Allen keeping him very occupied.
Colby, a South Australian product, actually. So he's come up to live in Queensland. So he's probably playing in front of some friends and family today, which is...
Which is such a lovely thing for any player to do, play at the top of any competition in front of family. Traditional offload of Brodie Roberts, a little flick around.
Flick around the corner.
And these two have played 23s together, Brodie Roberts and Cameron Allen. Brodie's obviously spent a number of years in the Opens, and now getting that combination back together, it's so great to see.
Lachlan Carter out of the circle.
That's a scary prospect.
Wow.
I'm not sure I've ever seen him run that far, but look at the space he just opened up.
I think he was in a different postcode there.
I'm both scared and excited by that, I think.
Good two hands. Unfortunate for King there. He had pretty good front position, but obviously 6'10" with a few extra.
Exactly right. Yeah. Sometimes you're just going to be unfortunate just because. Victoria wanting to go on the move. Guy Keen's going, come on guys, switch on. Wants to connect to them.
They are playing a nice split circle here, the boys. They're making the Victorians really work hard for every ball around there, around the circle's edge.
They really are. And Brodie getting himself caught slightly off balance, but still so much control to offload a beautiful ball.
The composure just to, okay, I'm just going to drop it off now.
Yeah. And that's brought it back to even all of a sudden. That few goal deficit that had been during the second quarter has now come back. Just a little bit of spark from Victorians to start off the quarter. Oh, Daniel King. That was a superb contest.
Good contest there.
Lockie Carter looking at his hands going, not quite sure how it got out of there, but... Oh, just a little bit of miscommunication in the circle from Queensland defence, I think.
One of them actually had it. One of them did. I think they just got in each other's way at the end there.
Because it was worth a fly at for sure, but it left Cameron Allen absolutely under the post.
Offside there from Mark.
I think it may have got the
contact.
May have ended up offside, but I think got a couple of hands in there. And the little screen set up from the goal in combination Victoria pushes Victoria out in front. Queensland centre pass.
I think Victoria would be very happy with their first 3 minutes of this quarter.
Yeah, I dare say Christine Popolo was very firm with them. They've got to lift their intensity from the start, not let Queensland into the game.
Yeah, look, if you're talking percentage-wise, maybe a 52-48 sort of first half in Queensland's favour. But very, very confident start here from Victoria, as I say it.
Yeah, and then just stagnant all of a sudden. There just seemed to be no option for a moment, which has been uncharacteristic. Just an unfortunate footwork call, which gives the ball back to Victoria.
Yes, it was. He didn't have it, but...
Interesting pass choice, but Guy King making a great drive there, ignored. But Cameron Allen ripping it in, finishing off.
So Victoria up by 2. Bit stagnant there on the offensive end from there, boys, and
the timing of that ball. Yeah. Lockie Carter needs to turn and shoot that. Otherwise, I feel like you're putting yourselves back a step for a while if you're not.
Yeah, and also you're bringing it's Daniel King back into the game. Yep. Where is he? He's now got a one-on-one situation, whereas he can then body back up again.
Yeah. And I'd love to see him absolutely rip that and then shoot it, because that's his range still.
Punch was going to be...
Oh, superbly kept in, but not quite where Guy King could then stay on side for it. But
wow.
Queensland managed to get hands and tap it back. But
and miscommunication there from Daniel to Jordan.
And then a quick little roll-in sub for Victoria. Jaden Cowling coming on into goal attack. And then you're not going to lose any speed through that attack with him.
He was 23s in 2019. He's just a wonderful player.
Oh, he's a superb player. And he's played all through the junior ranks of Victoria. Came from 17s through what was the 19s up into 23s and onto the open men's. And
We will give him the commentator's curse for the first 2 shots, but
oh, look, and I think that's necessary for us to do. It would be rude for us not to give a commentator's curse at some stage when we're talking up a player. But I'm going to be interested to see this combination now because Jaden is so dynamic out there and in a different way to a Brodie Roberts, but in a... Oh, Daniel King unfortunately just getting the obstruction call. Oh! And Al Punchin
stays
just...
down a touch for a moment.
Yeah.
Just
Not quite sure if it was just
around.
a slight weird landing or just
Yeah.
maybe the takeoff wasn't quite what he wanted.
Looks like he's wearing the old style Converse out there today, but I know he's not.
Yeah, maybe he needs to go back to the good old Dunlop volleys that can make anything. Definitely not going to smash an ankle in those.
That's better driving from Queensland there.
And this is the thing, Carter in centre is normally so good at that, but he's been a bit quiet with his drives.
Really well read there by Jordan Webb. Knew that Darren was in a touch, a bit of trouble.
And speaking of commentator's curse moment, he well read on the first hit, and then
I just think
slightly missed it on the...
I think we just need to stop and just let the game play itself now.
Yeah. We'll put our microphones down and leave, and we'll join you again later. No. It's back to 28 all. We're about halfway through this quarter, and look, it's still an absolute grind. And Al Punchin's just come off for Victoria. Jake Hedricks comes back on.
There's a bit of mistiming, I thought, there from Al through the court there. That's why he sort of got himself mixed up with his footwork a bit a couple of times.
It looked like Cameron Allen may have copped a shot where no one wants to cop shot briefly and just checked that everything was there. And, yep, still checking that everything is there. Maybe it's not quite. But that was still such a great finish as they get another little 2-goal buffer, but can't seem to get it past that again.
No, it's goal for goal after the first 3 or 4 minutes, and they've got back on centre pass parity at the moment.
And, how did that fall back into Darren Gillespie's hands? They could not have timed any better.
I don't think he even jumped.
I don't even think he was expecting it to come through.
Oh, Mark Nichols, I'm going to go a little tiny nutmeg there on Guy as he put it back through.
Now, when it comes to that commentator's curse, we said about how he's that quiet achiever, and look what he's just done. Something a bit less quiet. Queensland looking to capitalise here.
It's a nice big screen, but Victorian defenders were reluctant to move off the double team there either.
Yeah, they were quite reluctant to move off. Maybe not quite sure who was the right person to move off that. But the angle works so well. Back at 30 goals, all with Queensland centre. Yep. I'm not sure they need to be doubling back on Lockie Carter. You need the pressure up, put the pressure on the feed. Because Dan King can have a fly. He's able to go in the air around a goal shooter. Probably a bit of a frustrated obstruction there from Eli Harrison.
Gillespie.
That is some nice defence and a nice shot as well.
Rolls it over the front.
Jake Hedricks had great hands over it, but Darren Gillespie finished it beautifully.
Oh, geez, I tell you. Guys going to get called for, well, yeah, bobbled it. The umpire saw something that I don't think was quite there.
Yeah, I didn't see what they called, but I think there's some slight lack of control that meant that there was no step, and I'm not sure you could call a played ball on it.
Yeah, that's right. But Queensland went too lateral on the next pass out. And unfortunately, turned it back over straight away. So,
and let's see Jaden sink this one, hopefully.
Yes.
To take away our commentator's curse again. Yeah.
Do you find him as a better goal attack or wing attack, Jaden?
Look, I've really enjoyed the dynamics of his wing attack game. I think one of the unfortunate things with his goal attack game is stop putting up the shots as much, which is something he was so good at. You had such reliance on his range and that he'd put it up from anywhere. I think if the more he brings that back into his game, the absolutely better he'll be in goals. But I think there's still a big future as a wing attack in there as well.
I think so too. I think his movement, he just glides across the court.
Yeah.
Nice contest there by Phil.
He absolutely makes it look so elegant, doesn't he?
Oh, lovely screen there by Guy.
Good ball, Riley Richardson. Read exactly where Cameron Allen was going to turn and where the defenders were.
Queensland has made a change. Mero Clough is back on.
Yeah, probably wanted to get a bit more pressure through the air now, so Victoria can't give it quite as easily over the top. Lockie Carter letting him know where he wants it. The arm's going here.
Darren Furr, front position. He works so hard and he draws a call.
He knows just the timing of when to stop and prop a little bit just to get that, and maybe to then show that defenders riding his back, even if it's just been they've been with each other for that moment.
That's right. So Queensland take the lead by 1, 4 minutes and change in the third quarter.
Probably not seeing as many options through that transverse to the top of the circle on that one. So going for the long ball.
Mero sort of got caught a bit player watching more so than ball watching. I think he had an opportunity there, but he still made a good contest out of it.
Yeah, I thought it was a good contest as well that happened there. But again, this is one of those ones where the umpire definitely has a better angle than us for it and for those body movements.
All right, so we have a change.
Oh, the goal attack position change, yes. And you know what? It's not a bad idea from Gary Passion to throw in something different. He knows what the other combination is. He knows if that can work. Let's see something else against these Victorian defenders.
Sam Carlson on his goal attack down Gillespie takes a well-earned break.
And Eli Harrison also taking a well-earned break, and Tim Momo coming on into wing defence. And
showing his versatility there.
He's played a lot of wing defence, actually. Yeah. He plays all three. The one thing he brings to wing defence is just that hands over pressure, because he's got such long arms and that bit of height. It makes that a little bit more difficult. Maybe their game is to force it a bit more in the air for a little bit.
It's a beautiful ball in there by Jordan Webb.
3 minutes to go. 1 goal elite. And we need a towel.
We need the towel.
As soon as anyone hits the deck in
Guy's
these...
asking for his little stretching break again.
Yep. And look, 3 minutes to go. You've got to run out the quarter. Namaste.
So, was it? Did you say nickname was Bambi?
Bambi
earlier?
for Cam Allen.
Oh,
and
Sparkles. Sam Carlson.
Oh, I like it. I like that. A beautiful ball.
A bit of eyes down there for Mero.
And this is the aspect of Cameron Allen's game that's really improved, is really letting his feeders know exactly where he wants the ball on his body position, and he has such control over it and such strength.
Nash Hosking also on into centre here. Not quite wholly within, I thought there, but...
Yeah, it's a very interesting rule, that one now, with not the need to have both feet in. Sometimes people's timing can be a bit before the whistle, if you'll say. Lockie Carter is going, penalty here, this will do. Catch the defender's unaware.
I know the coaches are happy with the outcome. Probably not so happy with maybe the 2-on-1 ball being thrown into there.
Yeah, correct. It can be a bit of a coach killer when there's absolutely a player free. Well, just slightly on top of each other, Jaden and Cameron Allen. And then playing the ball from the ground is the call. And Al Punchin's come in for a bit of a hunt. They're wanting a play to sit off a bit now that they've seen Lockie Carter come out of the circle.
Wow. Twice in a game.
Seen him active. Oh.
No.
And that's what gets you the replay ball.
Exactly right.
Thinking he may have caused the contact, so stands out play, realises not the case. Still a minute and a half to go with Queensland up by 1.
Lovely drive there by Malmo to get the ball into the centre third. Glenn Ormish with a lovely touch. Nearly pulled that one in. That would have been a nice difference with about just over a minute to go.
He gets balls you not necessarily expect him to get, Glenn, as a goal defence. He's a very dynamic wing defence with it as well.
Exactly.
And I think he brings aspects of that to his goal defence game, because he's not the tallest defender by any means.
No. Not whole. Geez, Nash is pushing a very, very tight boundary there.
Yeah, it might depend on what we're saying is the holding, because there is a slight line around that big end in the middle that might make it a bit difficult. Good hands from Victoria.
Netball one, they allow that.
Yeah. And I can't wait till we see a men's equivalent of Suncorp Super Netball on that note.
It would be great to see, games prior to theirs and we're playing for those sort of
It would be superb to see the franchises have men's equivalent.
Control there by Guy.
Not quite the finish that Cameron Allen wanted, with about 30 seconds to go at the time.
18 seconds now.
That is a fantastic feed.
Now, is this... Oh, there's 9 seconds, and they have to take the centre.
And given the amount of time, probably had to rush it. And defenders doing the right thing and doubling back. But Cameron Allen...
And Mark Nichols with a timely touch. And I think that will be called as three-quarter time.
The umpire going to call time to hold the ball, but I think there was so few time left that reaction time's not even going to get to the buzzer in them. 37-36, Queensland's way at three-quarter time. This is a sporting cliche, still anybody's game.
Still anybody's game.
We'll see you after the break.
We shall do.
Our daily sponsor, CNS Landscaping and Earth Moving, is ready to help you with all your home landscaping needs in Adelaide. They can remove excess soil, pull dig-outs, remove stumps, prep for new driveways and carry out any demolition work. They are locally based in Lonsdale. Give them a call anytime for a non-obligation quote.
Welcome back. We're almost at the fourth quarter of Queensland Opens versus Victoria Open men's. Oh, what an exciting game this has been. Thanks to our daily sponsor, CNS Landscaping and Earth Moving. I have forgotten to plug them, and it is important that we do plug these guys because it's so important that we have such great sponsors to help, help the live stream, because unfortunately we don't have the benefit of, a KO or Foxtel come on board, guys, to help us with this. But CNS Landscaping and Earth Moving is ready to help with all of your home landscaping needs here in Adelaide. They can remove excess soil, pull dig-outs, remove stumps, prep for new driveways and carry out any demolition work. They're locally based in Lonsdale. Give them a call anytime for a no obligation quote. So thanks to those guys. As we then go immediately into Victoria being up.
Yes, once again, first minute of the game. If that's what the coaching we're asking them to come out really hard, great start. First turnover, back on parity.
And Christina Puopolo is so good at giving a focus for periods of time during a quarter as well. So I have no doubt that they've had area time focus for these. She's done that in various ways, whether it's 5 minutes, whether it's a particular sign gives an indication what they've got to change, and certainly tries to stay ahead of the pack when it comes to those sort of aspects. Interesting pass.
Luckily, got away with a 3-second call there. Oh, Lockie with an off the post to himself.
And I tell you what, look, his shot has improved a lot.
Yes.
He didn't have a lot of control over it a number of years ago, but now it's a great feed in Guy Keane to Cameron Allen.
Colby just getting caught in the back position there. I think once again giving Merrow that break before he comes back on.
Yeah, give him a chance. They're probably going to need him to have the hunt for a good part of this quarter.
Yeah.
But also a degree of, do you show all your cards right now if you're going to be facing each other later?
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Dan King, what a tap. And
No,
just taps
no punch. Met him at the apex. Fantastic.
That's a great contest. And to still pull that in as an attacker, that's great. Much too close.
Getting a tiny bit physical.
The umpire just saying, let me set the penalty, guys. I can't reset something that hasn't been set. And
Yeah, I can see that Queensland with Colby there now, Merrow, they have lost it. They've brought that element from Victoria to allow the bit more of a loopier pass into the shooter, whereas I think Merrow takes that out of the equation.
yeah, it's probably given a bit more freedom for Cam Amellen's body as well. A bit more clear on who has that front position, whereas Merrow takes it off a little bit.
Yep.
And I reckon Al Puncheon may have got a sneaky little touch on that in between there, but from that angle, there's no way the umpires see anything but the Queensland hands on the ball, and therefore play ball's the right call to make.
Sam Carlson's first nationals with Queensland. So, it's a big game, game opportunity.
And a little bit of experience can play into some of these games.
Yeah. A bit of nerves there.
Also,
and
he'll learn from this so
exactly
well.
Right, exactly right. And Gary's probably noticed that already. It made the immediate change.
Yep.
Darren Gillespie back on to goal attack. Ooh.
And bit of slippery hands coming in.
I'll be asking for the towel.
Yeah,
I'd say the ball's a bit slippery there.
yeah. Look, they've been working so hard. The contests have been so strong. There's been a lot of ball touch in here.
Yes.
We have a look at how low the scoring is. Superb long ball in.
Colby just playing a bit too far off there to allow himself to close that distance.
Now, some perspective for viewers at home. The first quarter was only 12 goals apiece. Then it was 11 goals to 12 goals and 13 goals to 13 goals. It hasn't been a ridiculously high-scoring match.
No.
Both teams have been having to work a lot, which means the more touch they get, more turnovers are going to occur.
That's right. Lovely feed in there to Allen.
Just pushing out to 3 goals here. This is the biggest margin they've had for a while, Victoria.
Yes. It's a 3-2 split on the centre passes at this stage, so it's only technically the one turnover.
Yeah, and that's all it will take. And that's what you've got to keep trying to get a turnover where you can here. Break a centre pass from the opposition, peg it back.
Lovely drive out from Allen.
And Jaden just opening him beautifully to create an option. Merrow just getting his feet caught a little bit there, couldn't quite get around. But the hard work going on between our goal defence there at Glenn.
Yeah, Glenn and Cameron Allen, they are just nice little bumping and grinding in the circle there.
And just the change of direction being missed there, so the ball going straight to Victoria.
Riley Richardson, great communication there. Said, Jaden, just go back a bit further for me.
Yeah.
Really, because he was set up and no one was coming to him, and he said, you can take that extra step.
And Jaden Callan can sink that any day of the week. And this court, he has done that before when he played Aussie 23s and absolutely killed it on this particular court against New Zealand.
Al with a little dish off there.
Yeah, and so many hands and bodies
So many hands.
on the far side of the court. It's a difficult one to see. Daniel
Great
King.
front position by Daniel King.
And he's trying to go 2 hands at it each time, which is really creating something there. It's difficult to get it over.
Riley and Nash, absolutely a bit too much body there from Nash, unfortunately.
Yeah, and might be the slight broadness versus the slightly tall, skinnier sort of frame was able to highlight what was going on there.
Yeah.
So it was well played by Riley Richardson.
Yeah.
These turnovers are becoming costly for Queensland.
They are. We need to get back to it. Get back to what works.
And capitalise on each centre pass and then get another turnover again as Danking gets another hand. Darren just saying, I want someone here, someone come front.
Jordan Webb, fantastic drive. But those two have been going at it all day. Eli, Jordan.
Oh, he's making him work, isn't he? Oh. I thought for a moment it might have been out of court, but that was, with all the hands going on there, Lockie did so well to take that ball. Still grinding, just being patient here, Victoria.
That's right. They're setting up a Superman dive across the floor from Nash.
Now, I think there might have been a distinct let's change the pace for a couple here, Victoria. Oh, Merrow. That's vintage Merrow Cloak getting to that.
Nice slow down, nice reset.
And Victoria very consciously getting arms up thing. And Riley's always going to go for that ball. You can't go a cross-court ball there.
It's only 2 channels.
Open bend, that's tough to get it through.
Yes.
There's a time and a place. Was not that one.
Not that time or that place.
And that is a beautiful drive to the top of the circle.
It's fantastic. And timing. And a magnificent curl around the top. Hits the top position where he wants it. Lockie presents.
And that's what Darren was looking for before from his mid-court. I want someone here. I want you to feed him from here to me. Because they can create so much from there. And the little front cut when a goal is around the top of the circle and outside is a very traditional Queensland move as well.
Exactly.
All the sides do that so well for Queensland. Doesn't matter age group.
Oh, Darren missed Jordan at the top of the circle there. But we will go to our bread and butter.
Oh, how did that get through there?
I think a touch there by Daniel.
Yeah, dare say it
just
was.
Fell right. Darren's not doing a lot today to get these rebounds. I'm not too sure.
He's getting a few stats from it falling into his hand somehow. But Dan King did so well getting Lockie trapped on the baseline, but a great ball into. Merrow's come out with absolute intent this quarter, hasn't he?
Exactly. Glenn Ormisha, lovely little cut off on Jaden Cowling's drive to the corner, but they still be able to find Cameron Allen at the post.
And keeping that 3-goal margin here, Victoria, they got up, but can they grind it to a couple more, or will Queensland come back at them? At the moment, it's looking like Victoria's getting a slight upper hand.
They've had the run of the play in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Lockie caught just probably a bit too deep on the baseline there, tried to tap it to himself.
Yeah, I would like to see Lockie actually come out. It doesn't need to come out of the circle like it was, but try and get an earlier set position higher to give himself some room.
You can see where the Suncorp super shot is. That's where
he needs it. That's his starting position, I think, yeah.
You give yourself 5 or 6 feet to go back into.
Oh, great feed in. And that was because of the front cut there from Jaden Cowley. It created the space over top. Wasn't an easy one for the defenders.
So Darren Gillespie back on. He's been trying to be the controlling influencer of this attack space.
And realistically, he is now that experienced person down there. There have traditionally been some mid-court who've been there for a number of years for Queensland. Bit of change of personnel. Great feed.
Cameron Allen with the seal too on Glenn Ormisha.
And the space he created with that one, wasn't it great?
Yeah. But finished off with a wonderful pass into that space too.
And if you're able to take Merrow's hand out of the game, that's so good. And doubling Cameron's not going to work. You can't leave Jaden free.
Pass?
He'll call it a pass with a little bit of a sly smile. He's not afraid to have a little bit of a interesting face on court when he does those sort of ones, Jaden Cowley.
Yes. Brian Williamson on his wing defence will create a tiny bit more speed for Guy. Again, we're rolling those wing defences through.
And you know what? Gary Passion's a smart guy. He's going to try a couple of different things if he needs to.
Yep.
It's not all about winning this game for him.
That's exactly right.
Just with the little swing ball, Victoria.
And I think Queensland went a bit too side to side and then here, and that's created the turnover.
Yeah, they've gone more lateral rather than across and down with it. Yeah, a little bit of foot tangle. Mero can't help it. It's not his fault his feet are so big.
It's a lovely run here by Victoria with 4 minutes to go.
And as I was about to say, can they push it out even more? The held ball. This is Queensland got to capitalise on this.
They do. You make this a, what do we get? We got 8 goals at the moment. You make this a 6-goal game with just under 4 minutes to go.
Well, they score this one. They've got the next centre pass. Score that one, try for another turnover. All of a sudden, it's a little bit closer.
That's right.
And as I said, going in, it's 52-45 Victoria's way. 3.5 minutes to go.
Tristan Rui on as wing attack. I think Gary's probably looking for a bit more punch through the middle.
And we haven't seen him in today's game so far. And he is someone who plays slightly differently to their other attackers.
Correct. Lovely reset there by Glenn Ormisher.
He does that finesse, that beautiful little finish finesse is what Tristan's. But, okay, I think maybe footwork call might have been there.
I think we'd moved past. We thought it was a through.
Yeah, it looked like it was a brilliant finish. Oh, Mero, great pressure over the shot and then on the rebound. Eli getting caught a bit behind the body, but
well,
Tristan's strong.
And he's fairly quick.
Tristan's not going to let someone go through him easily. He's the same when he plays goals as well. He doesn't let anyone through him easily.
No. 2 minutes 40 on the clock. 7 down, 6 down now. Queensland, if they are looking to win this game, pretty much need to be perfect from now on.
They've got to at least get this turnover and be scoring on some centre passes again, and then work for another turnover because there's not a lot of time left. 30 seconds potentially per centre pass, 5 centre passes. And the experience of Guy Keane, he knows how to hold the ball up appropriately as necessary as this goes on. Which, if they've got the time and gets close, he'll make sure that the ball gets through.
Manager Beck getting on court. I'll give her a shout out.
Well, if we can't do anything in our commentary but give some shout outs at some times, then who are we? It's unfair. And I'm going to give a shout out to Victoria's tour manager, Sonia Febo, because she'll kill me otherwise. But she's been our absolute rock this tournament.
Wow.
Getting everyone up and about.
That's good. Unfortunately, Mero front position, but the ball just did not fall his way. That would have made things very interesting.
I dare say there could have been a great little finish through there.
Yeah. Tristan really on the 3 seconds threshold.
Victoria clogging up. They're really moving through all of the space there.
Yeah.
And Eli's tenacity is always going to come out at these times.
With a minute 40 to go, 7-goal deficit.
And that was a nice little change up from Bambi there. So he came out of the circle flat. People weren't expecting him. They just provided a nice smooth give and go for Guy Keane.
So we're after a Bambi Sparkles matchup at some stage, so we can call that.
Wouldn't that be superb? I think we could have a new TV show from that. The Bambi Sparkle show. We'll get the powers that be onto that, I think. The social media. Guy Keane, unfortunate with the played ball.
That's a very unlucky call, I thought.
Yeah, and he's like, but I got it. I got it.
Yes. That was my stat for the game. My only intercept.
And it was a great intercept.
It was.
And that's what 10 years ago, Guy Keane was doing that all day.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Lockie with an untimely miss late in the game.
Yeah, they're the ones you got to sink them at this point in the game, even just to piggyback. Riley Richardson lucky there. I think his foot is doing a couple of double pivots, double turns. So whilst the obstruction was first there, he's just got to be a little bit careful.
And
but well walked back as well.
And 25 seconds to go. Both teams still playing it out. There's a lot here to play for. It might turn up for us with positional play with for and against and percentage. And that is a great pass.
I think players are a little bit confused at the time left.
It's a great pass by that might be inside too for a pass or shot.
And let's Darren drain this. Oh, unfortunate. Lockie's gone. Oh, time's gone.
And I would have given him 2 for that as well. Just
why not at that point in the game?
He was in there.
Yeah. 55-46 is the end result here. Queensland men's unfortunately going down after a great game. Victoria pushed out that last quarter. Who would you say your best ons from that are, Devon?
I thought that, look, Guy was solid. A little bit of, hands and footwork, but that was the pressure that was being put on him. I thought Punch was just solid through the whole game and created some quite good turnover opportunities for Victoria.
Yeah,
so
he was certainly consistent. It wasn't a lot of flash stuff from him, but it was consistent grinding and work from him.
But I'm going to then go to the player that you asked for, Cameron Allen.
He had a terrific game, didn't he?
Game there.
And Merrow was a tough contest on him.
My word. So to come out on top after that sort of contest with Merrow, I thought, he was probably their best there today.
Who was your favourite from Queensland, do you think?
Look, defensively-wise, I think they were just solid all three. Even with Nash starting at wing defence, they work well as just a great combination. They provided enough turnover ball. I think I'm not too sure about the turnover conversions that Gary will probably look at, but from a very solid game, through that second and third quarter, there was not much in it. So our best, I thought, let's go with. I thought Merriclough.
I would agree with that.
And realistically, so that's both guys doing what
because it was a
good for their
fantastic
teams.
contest.
Exactly right. Yeah.
All right. You'll be hopefully joining some of our colleagues for some more live streaming matches throughout today and the rest of the week. Thanks for joining us. Once again, 55-46. And that is us done for the day. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanking our weekly sponsor, Harrison's Kitchens. Looking for a new kitchen, a fresco kitchen, or a custom joinery item? Harrison's Kitchens and Cabinets are celebrating 20 years this year. 20 years of supplying and installing true custom joinery with you in mind. Kitchens and joinery. All budgets, many material options with many special rates for the South Australian netball community. Look them up on Facebook, Instagram or search up www.harrisonkitchens.com.au.